All right, day 7, Red Brick Challenge. Today's a very special day because today is the day that you reflect upon your week and you say, I've gotten 7 days under my belt, 5 of which were weekdays, and they probably look a little different than the 2 that are weekend days. And at the end of today, what you want to kind of do is go back through your week and notice any consistencies. And I know a lot of you've already seen them because you've shared them. You're like, hey, I notice I'm only getting blue bricks during this time, or this seems to be the trigger that leads to me getting a blue brick. So you're becoming more aware of your behaviors. The goal for the next week is not to have all red days. I know that's what so many people want, right? They just want to see all the mistakes, all the issues disappear. But in all reality, that's never the case. We're human. We're going to always be human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have off days. Things are going to happen. They did for me this week. But what we're going to do is we're going to just gently correct. So for example, I'm going to use myself here. I did earn blue bricks this week. I didn't tally them up, but I will say there was a consistent factor, which was it was always me nibbling while cooking. Now, this is a huge issue for me. I used to be a massive grazer during the time I cooked my food. I had to work at it really intentionally to stop doing it. Sometimes I could eat enough calories in my grazing to make it to where I had 2 dinners, right? Or 2 meals. This nibbling was not nearly that big of a deal, but I still don't like seeing myself sliding into that old behavior. So moving into this next week, what I might start to do is a little trick that worked for me, which is chewing gum when I go into the kitchen. So that way I'm mindful of when I am tempted to nibble. And I'd like to see my blue bricks decrease. So that's kind of where and really decrease from nibbling specifically, because that's where my issue came in. So what I want you to do this week is just as you're wrapping up today, make an assessment. What would you say are your big areas that were your blue brick moments? What could you maybe tweak differently going into the next week? Maybe it's, putting time blocks in for when you eat so you're not eating in between meals. Or grazing. Maybe it's like me, putting gum in your mouth when you go to cook so you're not nibbling when you're in the kitchen. Maybe it's clearing out your pantry of foods that you kept finding yourself running into issues with this week and giving yourself a more supportive environment for what you're working on. Maybe it's planning meals you're actually excited about because you realize I'm not eating the foods that I'm planning, thus I'm not hitting my calorie targets. So maybe I need to plan different meals, right? So really dive into that. This is never a let me be self-critical, let me beat myself up, look at how much I suck. This is not that. That's old thinking. It's not helpful thinking. We want to dismiss that and we want to go, interesting. What can I learn about myself? What behaviors need modification? What can I do to help my future self? And then ultimately just striving for a slight improvement in the next week. I'm excited to see how you guys do today. Thank you for this wonderful journey together. I'm really enjoying it. And I'd love to hear what your ideas are about what you might work on improving in week 2. I'll talk to you soon.